As the dark night fades out to welcome a sun-bathed horizon, the Indian farmer ungrudgingly takes to his fields. His blood and sweat plough the fields relentlessly, but with 60% of India's population engaged in agriculture, the returns are not in proportion. Almost 40% of India's population lives below the poverty line. Though modernization has touched the villages, the pace of change varies sharply. As a result, drudgery and toil have taken priority over innovation and the scientific outlook. To avoid recurrent floods and face the challenges of drought, the government has implemented a number of schemes and programs. But to benefit from these, the farmer, the most important link in an agro-based economy, has to strive for excellence. It is the farmer who has to strike the right balance between self-help and government assistance. Meet Jaikumar Gunde, the unassuming farmer from Patan Kadole in Kolhapur district of Maharashtra. This man's heart and soul is ruled by his pet subject, groundnuts. It is this curiosity and desire to excel that has made Jaikumar Gunde a pioneer of sorts in his cultivation methods. This man's curiosity has constantly led him to innovation. This man's thirst for excellence has made him take on the formidable task of attempting to break China's world record in the production of groundnuts. Agriculture is not just an occupation with this farmer, it is a mission for him. So close to his heart that the words Arachis hypogea, the botanical name for groundnuts, is scripted in bright yellow on his shirt pocket. Today's success story began way back in 1990. With no desire to pursue agriculture, Jaikumar Gunde tried his hand at various professions, including trying to sell second-hand motorcycles. But financial constraints at home and only marginal success in his other professions made Jaikumar Gunde turn to his fields. In his own words, Jaikumar says,
आणि नाईलाजाने मला शेताकडे आवड नसताना देखील येणं भाग पडलं आणि शेतीमध्ये आल्यानंतर मी पहिल्यांदा बघितलं की आहे या पिकामध्ये उत्पन्न व्यवस्थित मिळत नव्हतं त्यामुळे नवीन काहीतरी करायची माझ्या मनात भावना आली पुण्यामध्ये मी ॲग्रिकल्चर एक्झिबिशन बघायला गेलो तिथे मला एक स्टॉल भेटला भाभा अणुसंशोधन केंद्राचा स्टॉल होता तो तिथे डॉक्टर काळे साहेब हे मला भेटले त्याने आम्हाला BRC मध्ये येण्यासाठी आणि आपल्या नवीन व्हरायटी लावून बघण्यासाठी सुचवलं त्याप्रमाणे मी त्यांच्याकडून TH24 TG26 TKJ19A सोमनाथ अशा 4 जाती आणून मी लावल्या तर त्यामध्ये मला त्या जातीने फारच उत्पन्न दिला ह्या जाती वापरल्यामुळे मी नेहमी माझे उत्पन्न सलग 9 वर्षे सातत्य उत्पादनामध्ये एकरी 22 क्विंटलपासून 30 क्विंटलपर्यंत हे सातत्य मी त्या व्हरायटीमुळे आणि कृषीच्या टेक्नॉलॉजीमुळे राखू शकतो.
Jaikumar Gunde has been in the news owing to his record haul of 7.5 tons of dried peanut pods per hectare. He is widely accepted as the de facto peanut wizard of India. Only the Chinese seem to have done better, but their record haul of 11.2 tons per hectare was achieved only a couple of times. By a team of scientists, the Chinese used a giant pod variety that matures in 150 days. In contrast, Jaikumar Gunde's mind-boggling haul of 12.5 tons per hectare was achieved by using a mutant strain called TG26, developed by the BARC, which matures in 100 to 110 days. As Gunde had a scientific bent of mind, he decided to experiment with a process called mulching. This system was developed by the Japanese and is widely used by the Chinese today. Jaikumar Gunde has indigenously developed the board on which this film is first wrapped and then punched with holes in a measured format. This was the first time that the mulching process was being used in India for groundnut cultivation. In the mulching process, a polythene film is stretched on a broad bed with a furrow system. This mulching process has a twofold benefit. First, covering the ground with plastic film reduces water evaporation. Therefore, 40% water is conserved. Secondly, the increase in temperature under the film causes the groundnut yield to increase and reduces the harvesting time. Having achieved a sizable increase in yield from 27 quintals per acre to 33 quintals per acre, Jaikumar Gunde strongly propagates the use of the mulching method. With Jaikumar's meticulous planning and hard work, the TAG-24 yielded 25 quintals and the TG-26 yielded 30 quintals per acre. Today, the BARC scientists are unfailing in their praise for Jaikumar Gunde. They refer to him as the scientific farmer.
Inspired by the record-breaking yield from Jaikumar Gunde, some of the farmers from Maharashtra like Shamrao Tatya Jadhav from Satara, Ashok Kalyani from Solapur and Namdevrao Ghuge from Parbhani district, they also achieved the similar yield by using improved technology and growing Trombay groundnut varieties like TAG-24 and TG-26.
BARC has been working on mutation breeding for the past 40 years. Mutation, in simple terms, would mean permanent genetic changes in the plant characteristics. In the mutation experiments, seeds are irradiated with gamma rays from cobalt-60 isotope. These seeds are then grown generation after generation. Any new variety thus developed is evaluated initially at BARC. Once found superior, further yield evaluation is done in multi-location trials. The seeds of newly developed variety are supplied each year to the seed corporations at state and national level for further seed multiplication. Thus, the certified seed that the farmer receives for cultivation undergo nearly 11 generations of trials.
Under the peaceful use of atomic energy in agriculture, genetic improvement of crop plants has been in progress in BRC by using induced mutations in crossbreeding since the last 4 decades. Now, of the 8 groundnut varieties like TAG-24, TG-26, TG-3, TKG-19A, Somnath, these varieties they became very popular in our country. The annual national demand for the breeder seed of our varieties is about 60 tons. There is always a gap between the demand and supply. So for this, what BRC has done is, it signed the MOUs with the agriculture universities so that they will produce the breeder seed. And second thing BRC had done is to give contract farming to a progressive farmer by name JB Gunde. He is from Kolhapur, an innovative farmer.
Today, the average yield of pods on a single groundnut plant number 50 or more. The BARC varieties TG-26 and TAG-24 are short-growing plants and can bear increase or decrease in water. TG26 has a smooth shell. Therefore, soil is not stuck when it is pulled out along with the plant during harvesting time. It is the BARC's TG26 variety that has helped Jaikumar Gunde achieve a national production record of 7.5 tons per hectare. Time and again, this farmer has emphasized the importance of good seeds and good agronomical practices for increased output. His desire is to conserve water and to produce maximum yield in minimum area. With judicious use of chemical and organic fertilizers, Jaikumar Gunde has managed to reduce the soil pH to just 7 in his own fields. With his eyes set on breaking China's world record of 11.5 tons per hectare, this humble farmer attributes his success to good cultivation practices, ICRISAT's technology, BARC's seeds, and his own desire to excel.
मला अगदी 100% खात्री आहे की मी हे रेकॉर्ड नक्कीच ब्रेक करू शकेन, कारण हे रेकॉर्ड ब्रेक करण्यासाठी मला भाभा अनुसंधान केंद्राने फार मोठं सहकार्य करण्याचं मान्य केलेलं आहे. त्यासाठी खास जाती देखील विकसित करून द्यायचं काम सुरू आहे आणि मला सगळ्यांची मदत आहे. इवन घरातील देखील आमच्या सगळ्या मंडळींची मदत आहे. आमच्या घरच्या कुटुंबियांची, आमच्या बायकोची, भावाची, भाऊ तर आमचा हे जे सगळं करतो मी, हे माझी बुद्धी आणि कल्पनाशक्ती लढवून करत आहे त्यामध्ये. पण हे प्रत्यक्ष अंमलात आणायचं काम माझा भाऊ अभय कुमार हा इथं चिकाटीने आणि जिद्दीने करतो. ह्या सगळं सहकार्य असल्यामुळे एक ना एक दिवस हे माझं रेकॉर्ड म्हणजे लवकरात लवकर पूर्ण होईल असं मला आशा आहे.
Today, disgruntled rural youth are migrating in large numbers towards urban areas in search of occupation, for agriculture is not profitable. Jaikumar Gunde serves as a beacon of light for these young people. This modest man has marked every Saturday on his calendar for consultations, meetings and talks with fellow farmers and for visitors from India and abroad.
I am Dr. K.J. Parmeshwarappa, senior breeder from US Dharwad. I had heard of J.B. Gunde for achieving record yield in groundnut. I wanted to see the farm and what different methods he has adopted on his farm in order to get the requisite or the maximum yield level of 6 tons per hectare. After coming over here and interaction with the farmer as well as the concerned persons, I came to know that the ICRISAT method of raised bed was a failure elsewhere, and J.B. Gunde has fully exploited this method, and he has added one more component, that is polythene method. So the combination of raised bed and also the polythene method with proper management of the irrigation, that is judicious use of irrigation, that is neither excess nor shortage of water, all the three components has contributed for the highest yield, that is 6 tons per hectare.
In Tamil Nadu, we are working in many crops, paddy, cotton, groundnut and vegetables. And groundnut takes a major place in our work because it is cultivated by majority of the farmers there in rainfed tracts. And one of our major problems in groundnut is the yield plateau, or rather most of the farmers are unable to increase the yield in rain-fed conditions. So we thought, okay, we would like to meet scientists and meet other farmers outside Tamil Nadu who are well versed in cultivating groundnut and get a better yield. One of the scientists suggested us to visit Mr. J.B. Gunde's place here so that we could get an idea about how he is cultivating groundnuts. So here we have come and with NGOs and farmers so that we could learn some of his ideas how he is able to get a better yield. And because we also heard that he has a record yield of about more than 6 tons per hectare. So that made us very much interested, and we are here.
But for all his modesty and humble upbringing, this farmer has had to pay a heavy price. Gunde says, "I foot my own telephone bills, which run into thousands of rupees every month. I simply cannot refuse to talk to fellow farmers when they make a call to consult me about their cultivation practices." With the many awards and accolades that the Maharashtra government has showered on Jaikumar Gunde, the most befitting reward for a scientific farmer would be a system of modern and speedy means of communication. In the age of cyber communication and the internet, a computer is a minimum requirement. This would not only provide some measure of financial relief to Gunde, but would also be instrumental in providing inspiration to many more Jaikumar Gundes in the country.